My name's John Prothero. I'm from Cleveleys near Blackpool in Lancashire. I own a STI, Subaru STI. It's the 330R with the upgrade. I've been married for 30 odd years to my wife Linda. I run a fashion retail business in Cleveleys, a company called Frederick's Cleveleys. We sell virtually everything I'm wearing at the moment, Lacoste, Henry Lloyd, etc., things like that. Interests, we're big interest in motorsport. And my other hobby, my passion, ever since I was a boy, has been model aircraft. And I've got one in the car today, and this vehicle is perfect. It's four-wheel drive. I can drive it onto a damp field, it drives off. I can put my models in the back. It just ticks all the boxes, really. I've had a few Subarus, and this one, I think it's fair to say, is the most versatile one that I've owned. It's also the most comfortable. What I really like about the STI and what appealed to me was its individuality. It's not just another square tin box. So yeah, the styling, I like the styling in particular, but the other thing is, it's not quite as in your face as the previous marques. It's a little bit more subtle. It's more a thinking man's car. I like to think it is anyway. It's not just another, I'll say BMW or another Golf GTI or what have you. It's got a little bit more personality and a bit more to it. I've never actually been on a track day with a Subaru. I was briefly in an owners club, but it was a bit of a commitment. I keep having to turn up. My best moment ever in a Subaru was when there was a drive from Scotland to somewhere in the south of England, and I found myself in amongst approximately 300 Subarus on the motorway. That was superb. I'll never forget that. Do approximately 10,000 a year, and as I say, it's an absolute delight. My driving style, really, the way I drive the vehicle, surprises a lot of people. I take great pride in going down the motorway and returning 32, 33 to the gallon by having an intelligent drive and just driving sensibly. Previously I had Subarus, and I decided that I should perhaps look at something with a little less aggression, and perhaps at my age I should grow up. So I went off and bought a Volkswagen Golf GTI. I kept the car. I was 6 months. I think Lee said soonest mended with that. The car itself, although it did what it was supposed to do, I was particularly disappointed. Lots of friends said it didn't ride as well as this car, and it really, I just got very annoyed with the car. For instance, you'd be at a road junction on a slight incline with some lock on trying to feed into traffic, and immediately you tried to pull away without really pushing the vehicle. The traction would step in, and it was things like that. It didn't feel as good in wet conditions. It certainly wasn't as good in snow. I looked at everything before I bought this, and I drove the Audi and the four-wheel drive, the Quattro, and the salesman, I said, it doesn't really feel like a four-wheel drive, and the salesman said to me, and I quote, no, if you really want and he had no idea I owned a Subaru at this stage, he said, if you really want a good four-wheel drive, it's not a Subaru, this, you know. I then came back up to my dealership and bought the Subaru. It's light years ahead. It's a different thing. Unless you've driven one, you won't understand it. It's so different to the original. My friend who's come with me today, for instance, found the last Subaru I had a particularly harsh ride. In fact, we used to have to swap seats, and he used to have to drive it because if I was, how can I put it, making rapid progress, he would sometimes feel a little nauseated. But with this one, we could go to the moon and back and he'd still be okay. and so it's a lot more comfortable. And as I said previously, this one rides better than the Golf I had. What I want is a versatile car that I can put 4 people in comfort, including my granddaughter, that I can go to the model flying field, park it on a damp field, go and have a day's flying, come back, get in and know I'll drive off. I'll just give you a quick story now about this. I went to a motor race, we parked the cars on the hill and it started to rain and the racing finished, so everybody was getting in the car and the cars were sliding down the hill and there was a guy with a tractor pulling cars out. I remember people shaking their heads, he's not going to do it, he's not going to do it, and it just drove straight out. One of the best moments of my life, that in a motor car. Look at me. You wouldn't think I'd buy an STI. I'm 63 for goodness sake. But here I am, and it does everything I want it to.